everybody. I just wanted to take some time today and share a story about God's faithfulness. So, as some of you may know, a lot of you probably don't, I was actually married prior to being married to Alex. And as you can guess, that marriage did end up in divorce. And it was a very difficult situation. And yeah, it wasn't obviously what I had hoped for marriage. Marriage is a covenant and it should last for forever. And sometimes it doesn't, based on circumstances that may be in your control or maybe out of your control. In this case, there were a lot of circumstances that were out of my control. But during some of those really hard times in my first marriage, when I was wondering if it was going to work out, I was actually on a run, and I just remember getting down on my knees, just stopping, getting down on my knees, and I was just praying, and I was just in a really low place. And one thing that I always kind of wondered about or worried about, as some people do, is, wanting to have children. And in that moment, God showed me a vision of me having a child. And it was a little boy, and I was in a hospital, which I actually thought was pretty strange at the time, because if somebody would have asked me at that point, would I be having baby in hospital, I would have said no. I would have loved to have had a home birth. That's what my mom did with all of us except for Matthias, because she had placenta previa. But that's what I would have chosen. And so I was like, well, maybe the place is just, maybe it's just God just reassuring me that I'm gonna have children someday. But I thought that child was the child of my ex-husband and I. And I thought that okay, that means that things are gonna work out. And fast forward several years, that was not the case. But it took me a long time, and just maybe a year or two ago, I actually realized that child was Dale. It wasn't just a vision of me having a son, but it was actually a vision of the actual hospital room that I gave birth to Dale in. And this, is years later. And even then, it took me even longer to realize, because I can see the vision perfectly in my mind. And that it was the same room. It was laid out the same way. It was Dale. And I just wanted to share that with you guys today, because sometimes it's really hard to see how things are going to work out and how God is going to work it for his good, but he does. He is not going to leave you in the place that you are. He is going to work it for your good. He is going to take you out of that situation, and you may not see how or when, but he is so faithful, and he's so kind.